Hey everyone, welcome back to Code with Poonam. If you're new here, make sure to hit the like button and subscribe for more coding tutorials. We are on day 3 of our 30-day pattern challenge, and today's pattern is all about printing a sequential number in a square format. Okay, so let's proceed with this challenge and we will move towards our VS Code. If you see here, we have here our question, right? What is the question? We have to write a JavaScript function to print the following pattern, and here is the particular output. Correct. Now we will come down and we are going to break down our question. Okay, so what is the question? We have to write a JavaScript function, so that I will take it and I am going to put it over here. After that, what is the next thing here? That we have to print this following pattern, right? So I will take this and that also I am going to put it over here. So this is the pattern, and if you observe the pattern, it is nothing but a square pattern, right? So if you see number of columns and the number of rows is same, that is why we say what? It is a solid square pattern itself. Okay. So that is what I will write it over here. Okay. And now we will come at line number 8 and we will define our function name. So we will keep our function name as what? Print pattern. Okay, so that is what I will write it with a parenthesis. So this will be our function name. Okay, now after this we will understand how we are going to approach to this particular question, how we are going to get the desired solution. So for that we are going to write here our approach. So I will just write here what? Approach. Okay, now first of all what we are going to do, we are going to create a str variable. Okay, so I will just write here what? Create a str variable. Now why we are creating this str variable? Because we will initialize this first of all with an empty string. Okay, and this is going to hold our final output. That means our pattern, this variable is going to hold. So for that purpose, what I will write here, let str is equal to empty quotes. That means we are initializing with an empty string, and this is going to hold our pattern. Okay, so I will just write here our final output pattern here. Okay, so this is what it is. So now after this, what we are going to use, we are going to use here loops, and that too here we will be using what? Nested loops, because here we have to work with what? Rows and columns. And always remember one more thing, whenever you're solving a question related to the pattern or pattern printing challenges, then first thing we should try to use loops itself, because that is where we are going to get the exact output. So here as well we will be using what? Our nested loop. What is a nested loop? Loop inside a loop. Okay, so I will just write here what? Loop inside the loop. Okay, and here we are going to use two loops. So that is nothing but our outer loop we are going to use, and then we will be using our inner loop. Okay, now here our outer loop and inner loop is going to handle our number of rows. So our outer loop will be controlling or managing, I can say, the number of rows, and our inner loop is going to control or manage the number of columns. Okay, so I will just take this outer loop. Okay, and I'll put it over here, and I will just write here what? It is going to control what? Number of rows. Okay, so let me just write it over here. Then we will come down and we will take this inner loop. And what is inner loop going to do? Inner loop is going to control our number of columns, right? So I will just take this and we will put it over here, and I'll just write here what? Calls. Okay, now this is what our outer and inner loop is going to do, and we will assume that our outer loop is what? Our I loop. Okay, so I will just write here our I loop, and our inner loop is what? Our J loop. Okay, so I will just write it over here. So who is going to manage or control our rows? It is nothing but our I loop. And who is going to manage our number of columns? It is our J loop. Okay, now we will come above and we will understand that how our I loop and J loop is going to play a major role over here. So let us take this pattern and we will put it over here. Okay, now let us understand how many rows we have first. So if you see, this is our first row, this is our second row, right? So I'll just write here. This is our first row. This is our second row, correct? This is our third row, right? And this is our fourth row. That means if you see, the row is going to be managed by whom? It is nothing but our I loop, right? So I will just write here everywhere what? Our I loop, okay? So let me just write here I loop. Now we will come above and we will identify the number of columns also. So if you see where we have written 1, that is our first column. So I will write here first column, okay? This is nothing but our second column. So I will write here what? Our second column. Then if you see here, this is nothing but our third column. So I will write here what? Our third column. This is nothing but our fourth column. So I will write here what? Our fourth column, okay? And this is nothing but what? It is our calls, right? So I'm just writing here columns, okay? And this will be our J loop, right? So that is what I will write it over here. This is nothing but our J loop, and this will be what? Our I loop. So we will have here our columns as in J loop and our I loop as what? Our rows. Now, if you see here, what is getting printed then? It is nothing but it is printing the J values every time. 1, 2, 3, 4. That means first column, second column, third column, fourth column. So each time the loop is running and it is printing the J values if you see here. So that is what we are going to do it. And now first of all, we will see what will be the start point, what will be the end point here. So I will write here what? Our I loop, and we will write here what? Our J loop. So let me write here our I loop, and then I will write our J loop, okay? Now, what is the start point and what is the end point? So I will just write here first what? Start, and then let us write here end, and let us take this and we are going to put the same thing over here as well, okay? Now, if you see for a I loop, what is the starting? 1 is the starting. What is the ending? 4 is the ending. So I will write here what? Start as 1 and end as what? 4, okay? That is what I am writing it over here. Now, what is the J loop start and end? If you see 1, this is our first column. This is our second column, right? Then we have our third, then we have 4. That means it is the same, right? So start and end for both of them is the same. And what we will do, we will assume that our end, whatever is it, we are going to store inside our end variable, okay? So I will just write here what? N is equal to 4, and here also we will write N is equal to 4. So it will get stored inside an N, okay? Now, what will be the condition then we will write here? Inside the loop, what we are going to pass then? We will pass here what? I is equal to 1. I should be less than or is equal to N, and I plus plus, right? Similarly, for this, what we are going to write? J is equal to 1. J is less than or is equal to N, and we are going to write J plus plus, right? So this is what we are going to write it, okay? Now let us come down and we will write our for loop in actual, okay? And we will understand how we are going to get this pattern, okay? So we will come here and we will write our for loop, okay? And we will put here our flower braces, and I'll just comment this out. And here our outer loop is what? Our I loop. So I will write here what? Let I is equal to 1, I is less than or is equal to N, and I plus plus, right? This will be there. Then inside that, we are going to take our inner loop, that is our J loop, correct? So I will write here what? For, and then we will put here flower braces also. And what will be written here? Let J is equal to 1. Then J is less than or is equal to N, right? And then J plus plus we are going to write. Now inside this, we have to print our particular pattern, right? So here we are going to do it, correct? So now what we will be doing, we have taken here our str variable, right? So using this, we are going to print it. So what we will do, whatever the value we are passing, we will concatenate and we are going to store it inside our str variable itself. So I will write here what? Str plus is equal to, I will write here directly the J values. Why J? Because if you see every time we are printing here what? 1, 2, 3, 4, right? That is nothing but the J value itself. That is why it will be str plus is equal to J, okay? And since we want to take this pattern to the next line also, so after this loop is ending, it will take our cursor to the next line, okay? So for that, again, we will use this str variable itself, okay? And to that, we are going to concatenate what? backward slash n. So I will write here what str plus is equal to double quotes backward slash n. Slash n means taking to the next line. So that is what we are going to do it. Okay. And after that, what we will do, we are going to finally print our str variable where we will get our pattern. Okay. So I will write here what print str and we will get our final output pattern. Okay. Now, after this, what we will do, now let us see how this execution will be done. So we will see the working of it. Okay. So let us come down and we will write here what working. Okay. Now let us see. So if you see here what it is there, I is equal to and I is less than or is equal to n and I plus plus, right? So let us take this, okay? And now we will substitute the values inside it. So first time I is equal to 1, then 1 is less than or is equal to 4 because our n value is nothing but 4, right? And then I plus plus. Now if you check the condition is true, right? So therefore the control will go inside and it is going to run this particular loop. Okay. Now inside this what we have here j is equal to 1, j is less than or is equal to n and j plus plus, right? So we will take this and we are going to put it over here and we will see if this condition is true or not. So what we will do, j is equal to 1, that means 1 is less than or is equal to 4, right? That means this condition is true, right? And what we have to print? We have to print the j value. Remember, we are printing j here. So if you're printing j, what is the j value in the first iteration? It is nothing but 1. So therefore, we will get here what? 1, okay? Now in the second iteration of our j loop, what it will be? It is going to increment, right? J plus plus, right? So then what we are going to get? J is equal to 2, correct? So we will just take this and we will put it over here. So what we will have here then, j is equal to 2, right? And then 2 is less than or is equal to 4. It is true, right? And we are going to print here what? J value. So we will print here what? 2, right? After that, again it is going to j plus plus because this condition remains true, right? So then we will put here what? One more time, I'll just put this. Then what we will have? J value will become what? 3. Then 3 is less than or is equal to 4, right? Again, the condition is true and we are going to print what? Our j value. So I will write here what? 3, okay? After that, since this condition is again true, it is going to increment, right? So our j value will become what? 4. So let me just write here what? J is equal to 4 and 4 is less than or is equal to 4. So 4 is equal to 4. That means still it is true, right? So we will have here what? Printing as our 4. That means our j value. After that, what will happen? J is equal to 5. It will become, right? J is equal to 5 here. And then what is the condition? 5 is less than or is equal to 4. Now here, the condition will fail, right? So it will be false. And here itself, it will terminate. So it will not proceed ahead. After that, what will happen? It is going to concatenate inside this str itself. So what will be the final output here? We are going to get inside this. We are going to get 1, 2, 3, 4, right? So this will be our final output, right? That is what we are going to get it. Now, after that, what will happen? It will take the cursor to the next line, correct? That is what we have written. And then again, I value is going to change. Now, our second iteration, right? Now, after this, what will become? I value will become 2, right? Because it is going to increment. So, I will just take this and I am going to put it over here. So, now I is equal to 2. 2 is less than or is equal to 4 and I plus plus. So, still the condition remains true, right? Because 2 is less than 4, right? Now, again, it is going to enter inside this and it is going to run this loop and it is going to run from 1 to 4 itself. At 5, it will terminate. And since we are printing the j, the values will also remain the same. So it will be 1, it will be 2, it will be 3, it will be 4, right? Because our j loop is starting from 1, right? So again, it is going to be the same. So I will just take this and we will put it over here. And we will get here the value as what? 1, 2, 3 and 4, correct? After that, what will happen again? It is going to go to the next line and then again it will increase our I value, right? So it will become what? I is equal to 3, correct? So we will come here and I will just take this and we are going to put it over here again. And it will be now I is equal to 3. 3 is less than or is equal to 4 and I plus plus. Still the condition remains true and it is going to enter inside this loop, right? And it is going to print our j values, right? 4 times, correct? So similar to this, it is going to run and we are going to get here once again 1, 2, 3, 4, and then the control will be moved to the next line, right? And then again our I loop is going to run, correct? So we will have here what? I is equal to 4, correct? Because I value will increase by 1. So we will have here what? I is equal to 4 and 4 is less than or is equal to 4, right? Still here the condition is true because 4 is equal to 4. So once again, this is going to run and we are going to get our output like this itself, right? After that, what will happen? Our I value is going to become 5, right? So I will just take this and we will put it over here once again. Now, after that, what will happen when I becomes 5? I is equal to 5. 5 is less than or is equal to 4. False, right? So here itself, the condition will fail, correct? And therefore our both the loops is going to terminate. So I will just write here what loop termination is going to happen, correct? And that to both, right? So this is what I am writing it over here. And finally, we are going to print our str variable after this. So we will definitely get what? Our this particular output which we have understood here. Correct? So 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, it is going to print for 4 times. This is the representation of our rows and columns. Okay. So this is what we are going to get. Okay. Now, since we have understood the entire working, how this loops is going to work and how it is to be written, let us come down and we will see how we are going to write the same thing inside our function also. Before that, let us come here and we will open a fresh terminal. So I will select this new terminal and we will shift this to the right side. Okay. Now let us come down and write our function. So I will write here what function, and our function name will be what? Print pattern, correct? And we will just invoke it over here. So I will write here what? Print pattern, and to that we will pass the value as what? 4. Okay. Now let us come here and we will receive it as an n and we will just console it out. So I will write here what? Console.log of n. Okay. Now let us come here and we will just run it and test it. So I will write here what? Node 03 pattern.js, and if you hit enter, you are going to get here what? 4. That means whatever you are passing it from here as an argument inside this parameter, we are able to receive it. Okay. Now let us come here and we are going to create our str variable. Okay. So let str is equal to double quotes. That means we are initializing with an empty string, correct? Because it is going to hold our final output. That means our final pattern. Okay. Now after that, let us write our nested loop. So I will write here what? For, and then we will write here let I is equal to our 1. I is should be less than or is equal to n and I plus plus. Okay. Then inside this, we are going to write our j loop also. So for, and inside this, we will write here what? Let j is equal to 1. J should be less than or is equal to n, right? And then j plus plus, correct? Then here flower braces, and here is the place where we are going to print, right? So we will print here what? Our j values, right? So let us come here and write here what? Str plus is equal to j. So we are going to concatenate our j value to the string variable itself. Okay. Now after the entire execution, what we have to do? We have to print our str, right? So we will write here what? Console.log of str. Okay. Now let us see what do we get in the terminal. So we will write here what? Node 03 pattern.js. If you see, we are getting the output, but we are getting in a same line, right? So therefore we have to use this our backward slash n, right? Therefore it will take it to the next line. So we will come here outside this loop. What we will do? We are going to concatenate with that, right? So str plus is equal to double quotes backward slash n, right? This is what, and now let us run it one more time. So I will write here what? Node 03 pattern.js, and if you see, we are getting everything in a next line, right? Now what has happened here? But if you see, we have added here one additional line also after this, right? Because of this backward slash n. So there is a quick fix here we can do. So what we will do? We are going to use our trim method. Okay. What is a trim method? If we are using a trim method, whatever the additional spaces will be there before and after the string, it is going to remove. So if before we don't have anything, but after we have definitely, right? So that is what it will remove. So to this directly, we will use our trim method. So I will write here what trim and then our parenthesis. Okay. Now let us run it one more time. So I will write here what node 03 pattern.js. And if you see now that additional space has been gone, right? Here we had it, but here we are not having it. So this was just a quick fix, which we can do it by using a trim method. What does this trim method is going to do? It is going to remove the additional spaces before and after, not in between, only before and after. Okay. So that is what we have done, and we will just clear the terminal. Okay. And we will write here what node 03 pattern.js, and we have got our exact output, right? So that is what it was needed, and we have done the same. Now let us have a quick recap of this particular question. Okay. So what it was been asked, we have to write a JavaScript function to print this following pattern, right? So for that, we broke our question, right? And we understood that what is our function, what is the pattern, and we defined here our function name also, right? Then for that, we wrote our approach as well. So for that, we created an str variable. We initialized with an empty string. So that is going to hold our final pattern, correct? Then we wrote our nested loop. We understood that there will be a I loop, there will be a j loop. How many rows we have, how many columns we have, right? What will be the start point, what will be the end point, everything. Then we finally wrote our for loop, right? Here, considering every situation. And then we came down and we also understood the working of each and everything, right? So this was our entire working. We understood that when I is equal to 5, loop is going to terminate, right? And therefore our both the loops will terminate here, correct? And therefore after that we will just print our final str variable, correct? And the same thing we wrote it inside our function also, right? After that, we wrote our function, and our function name was what? Print pattern, where we were passing n as a parameter, right? Then we consoled here our n, correct? And we tested that whatever we are passing as an argument, it is able to receive it here or not, right? Then after that, at line number 55, we just created a variable with an empty string. We initialize it with an empty string, and this str variable is going to hold our final output. Then we wrote our nested loops, right? And then inside that we printed our j values by concatenating inside our str variable. Since we wanted after each j loop, it should take it to the next line, we concatenated here backward slash n to our str variable. Okay. And then finally we printed here our str variable, but we saw that we were getting an additional space. So for that we used here what? Our trim method. With the help of that, we got our exact output, right? Then at line number 65, what we did, we just invoked it and we passed here 4 as an value, or we can say as an argument to do the complete execution, right? So let us come here and we are going to test it one more time, okay? So before that, let us just comment it out. So I will just comment it out and we will clear the terminal, okay? And we will write here what? Node 03 pattern.js, and we are going to get our desired output, right? So that is what it was needed, and we have done the same thing, okay? Now guys, what I want from y'all is please try out or experiment it out with different values of n, and let me know the results in the comments, okay? And if you found this video helpful, don't forget to like, share and subscribe for more programming tutorials, and I will see you in the next one. So till then, keep coding, keep learning, keep growing, keep developing, and thank you so much guys. Take care. Bye-bye.